So we're talking about cooking. Okay. The halachos of cooking. And we said, let me read the summary that we said last time, so we have just refresh our minds. So it says, any action that causes food to cook more quickly is itself considered a lack of cooking, act of cooking. So even more quickly, it's still act of cooking. This includes moving pot closer to the flame, okay? B, removing some of the pot contents. So we said if we're going to remove, it's going to cook faster for sure. Stirring the food in a pot, right? So whatever is on the bottom is usually more cooked than things on top, of course. So you stir it. Then covering the pot. So of course the temperature rises, cooks faster. And the last one is closing an oven door. Okay. So part number 5. In this section, we'll deal with the loss of reheating foods that have been fully cooked and then cooled off. That's very interesting, right? So meaning if you are allowed to, and what you're allowed to take from refrigerator, let's say, put it on the blech. Okay. The Melacha of cooking does not apply to all instances of reheating food. There is a great difference between solid, dried foods and liquids with regard to reheating. This section refers only to fully cooked food that cooled off. Partially cooked foods may never be reheated, since the increase in their degree of edibility is always violation of Melacha of cooking. So one more time, so if we can reheat, right, only things, let's say on Shabbos morning, only things that were completely cooked, right? And we're going, okay, or it does not have to be on Shabbos morning. Let's say they took soup. Let's say they had soup on the blech on Friday night. Let's say, right? They took soup, they ate, and the question is whether or not they can put it back on the blech. That's the question. One thing. And second thing that we said here, there's a big difference, right? A big difference whether food is dry, solid food, right? Dry, solid foods, and liquids. Okay. So let's start. A, reheating dry cooked foods. So one more time, we can reheat only completely 100% cooked food. If it's not 100% cooked, we're not allowed to reheat it. A dry food that has been completely cooked is not subject to Melacha of cooking. This rule is known as there is no prohibition cooking that which has already been cooked. Okay, so there is no cooking that which has been already cooked. No cooking after cooking. Right? An example would be cold pre-cooked noodle from which the water has been drained. So there is no water completely, right? Or rice, also no water. In essence, then, it would be permissible to fully reheat the cooked noodles. So completely, you can make them even very hot. There is no problem. However, there is a rabbinic prohibition to place even fully cooked food directly on a fire on Shabbos, or even on a hot blech. So let's try to understand. First of all, we said before that the flame must be covered, and it has to be covered with what? With blech. Blech is a sheet of metal, right? That that we put on all of the 4 burners. I mean, you can have a smaller blech; it's your business. But if you have the bigger ones, so you can put more things at the same time to warm up. So even on a blech, rabbinic decree, they say even on a blech you're not allowed to return. this completely cooked food. As for example, we're going to use this noodle example. Reheating solid foods is therefore permitted only by indirect methods. These methods will be described in chapter 4. Okay, so we're going to get to it. So even on the blech, you're not allowed by a rabbinic decree to put completely cooked food. Like the pre-cooked noodles mentioned above, food is considered dry when there is no visible liquid on the food. However, if after warming up the food, some liquid oozes out, it is still considered dry food. For example, the example of this would be a fully cooked piece of meat. Okay, so if you try to warm up this completely cooled and cooked piece of meat, it's going to be something like inside, right? Some gravy inside. If it has gravy, we're not allowed to warm that now. But if something like was absorbed inside, now it came out, there is no problem.